CBS Sports presents Beyond the Baseline, sponsored by Infiniti, official car of the U.S. Open Tennis Championships.
Quarterfinals, 5 of 8 Americans. In the semifinals, 3 out of 4 came from the United States. The biggest surprise, 19-year-old Pete Sampras, who went toe-to-toe with Ivan Lendl and finally beat
At 2 in the morning, I was thinking, and I just thought I just beat one of the greatest players of all time on probably his favorite court, and I really couldn't believe I actually did it.
Pete may not have believed it, but there was something special in this skinny kid that had a lot of people excited early. His potential was apparent, but for his family, it was sometimes difficult to live with.
When Pete was really young, 5 years old and stuff, he'd be down in the basement for hours hitting tennis balls against the wall in the basement. And it'd go on into the evening and nighttime, and we could never figure out, I could never figure out why he'd be doing that for so long.
Those late-night workouts began to pay off last year when he upset defending champ Mats Wilander here at the U.S. Open. And now that he's come into his own, the limelight is something new for this easygoing 19-year-old.
It really has changed. I was out shopping yesterday, and I couldn't believe the amount of people that recognized me and wished me good luck. So it was different.
Meanwhile, back at Rancho Palos Verde, California, Pete's family watches on TV, and support comes over the telephone lines.
Yeah, I saw you. That was pretty good. Yeah. Did you read the paper today? Our parents cannot watch Pete play. Either here, watching him on TV, or even live. They get too nervous, and my dad started jogging. And he's been jogging ever since Pete's been improving, so the more Pete improves, I'm sure the more my dad will be jogging, maybe around a couple 10Ks or something.
Father Sam may have been out running earlier this year when Pete beat John McEnroe at the Canadian Open. He did it. But anyone else who's been watching can see that Sampras may be the best thing to happen to tennis in the United States since, well, you know who.
American tennis is at the peak right now, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
Young Pete Sampras, impressive in his victory over Ivan Lendl, seemingly calm, nothing to lose attitude. How will he deal with the drama of the stadium court and a crowd certain to be for New York's own John McEnroe? Well, it's all coming up. On Super Saturday at the U.S. Open, McEnroe and Sampras produced a sellout crowd here on Super Saturday at the U.S. Open. 2 down, 1 to go. The second men's semifinal. John McEnroe, unseeded, hard to believe, 4-time champion against Pete Sampras. The weather continues to be excellent. 69 degrees, a little breezy on the court, otherwise perfect. Let's go now back to our announcers booth, Pat, Tony, and Mary Carrillo.
All right, and Tony, I'll start with you. What about Pete Sampras? What can we expect?
Well, Pete is seeded number 12 here. He's 19 years of age from California. He's a good all-around tennis player, a fine server. He's won 2 tournaments this year. And this is the first time he's been in the semifinals of a Grand Slam. He has beaten McEnroe the only time they've played. That was earlier in Toronto. This will be a fun match to see. If the moment isn't too much for Pete Sampras, I think he has a chance to win this thing. If the enormity of all this gets to him, then I think McEnroe will win it.
And Mary Carrillo, I'll ask you about McEnroe. You've known him as long as anyone, I guess.
Well, I think he's got a good chance, Pat. As Tony said, Pete Sampras has a lot of game, and it's hard to attack him. His second serve is as big as most guys' first serves, and so what McEnroe's focus should be is to hold his own serve and then try to pressure the Sampras service game. If that can happen, maybe he will break down.
I guess you have to consider the age difference to be a factor.
Oh yeah, you got to give the nod. You have to give the nod to Pete Sampras as far as that goes. But he had a tough one over Lendl, a 5-setter that was absolutely brilliant, throughout. Can he sustain that kind of brilliance? That would be tough.
Well, it'll be coming up in just a moment. The other men's semifinal, McEnroe and Sampras, to see who faces Agassi. The stadium, the center of attraction today for the other men's semifinal match. John McEnroe and Pete Sampras at the USTA's National Tennis Center, Flushing Meadow, New York. Super Saturday has been just that. First match today, Andre Agassi eliminated Boris Becker, and then Gabriela Sabatini just beat the defending women's champion Steffi Graf. Pete Sampras, ranked 12th, age 19, 6 feet 160. He's from California.
This is how he got there, and of course the big one was, well, big win over Lassick. That's pretty darn good. Then beating Muster in 4 sets, and then I was going to say the big one in the quarters, defeating Yvonne Lendl, and that was a huge match. And the kid really showed a lot of spunk. He made a lot of shots. He served like 25 aces.
He was terrific against Lendl. John McEnroe, 31 years of age now, 5'11", 165, comes from nearby Douglaston, New York.
Find a seat quickly, please. Thank you.
For a guy that's ranked 20 in the world now, he's just had a remarkable week and a half. He beat Javier Sanchez and David Engel, a Swede. Chesnikov, the 10th seed. Emilio Sanchez, the 7th seed, in 5 sets. And then David Wheaton, a surprise quarterfinalist.
Well, we have a moment. Let's go down to John Dockery.
You know, Pat, I was in the locker room with both players. Interesting contrast in pre-match preparation. McEnroe lying prostrate on the floor with towels over him, looking for that quiet space, that zone, that concentration. Pete Sampras actually got up, had a quick rub down, and then watched the feature that we did on him on television and was laughing and smiling and joking. He's relaxed. Back to you guys.
All right, he looks relaxed.
He doesn't lack confidence, and I don't mean that in the wrong sense. That's very important, and the fact that he is a little bit,
at the ends of the
let's
court.
say, cocky, if you will, in a good way, will help him here. Maybe that'll help him not be overawed by this whole situation.
His first Grand Slam semifinal. Set to go against McEnroe.
Wasn't it cute? I said to Gabrielle, I said,
Quiet,
what's it
please.
feel like you won your first Grand Slam? So I can't talk very much now.
We can tell.
There are huge moments when you think
Please
about it.
take any seat. Thank you.
I mean, again, these are kids.
Steve Ulrich, the chair umpire from Gainesville, Florida.
Ushers, please stop the traffic behind Mr. Sampras.
It's going to be hard for the ushers to ush this. There are people just, this place is crawling with people wanting to see this match.
Stop the traffic.
Can't you feel the buzz, though, still, I think, from the final, from the Sabatini match? And this has been a wonderful day of tennis, as we call it, Super Saturday.
McEnroe to serve. Play.
A lot of these people are going to try to help McEnroe win this match.
Please take a seat.
Always amazed me about him. He sees everything, the least bit of movement. As vast as this stadium is, he sees everything.
Ladies and gentlemen, quiet, please.
Stadium.
They've still got grass courts over there by the clubhouse, but as you can see, they've also got clay now in the hard court, because there's a tune-up tournament to the U.S. Open played there now. Jimmy Connors is the only man to win the U.S. Open when it was played on 3 different surfaces.
Let's go down to John Dockery.
Thank you, Pat. I'm with a man, Stan Smith, who owned this Open 19 years ago. Today it's Pete Sampras. You saw him as a youngster. Do people think he was going to be this good?
Well, you know, he had so much talent as a youngster. He could hit all the shots. He could.
We're in the 4th set. Sampras is up 2 sets to 1. McEnroe serving at love.
One more time. What a thrill for that youngster. A disappointed John McEnroe, but he certainly has nothing to be ashamed of. Joe Brandy, the coach. Saying nice going, Pete.
All right. As Sampras signs autographs, let's send you down to Tim Ryan.
Thank you, Pat. Maybe they're going to call this young man Cool Hand Pete. Quiet young gunslinger from Rancho Palos Verdes, California. Kind of a Gary Cooper type. strolling in here to take on the living legend John McEnroe and leaving him in the dust in 4 sets. What a performance. We'll be back to meet him and John McEnroe, hopefully, on court in a moment. Find an interview on court. Understandable what a glorious run he had to the semifinals. Let's go out and meet the winner today with Mary Carrillo.
All right, well, so are you. Well done.
Thank you.
Back to you, Tim.
The future of men's American tennis tomorrow. 19-year-old Pete Sampras, 20-year-old Andre Agassi. We're looking forward to it. I'm sure all of you